Back with another video, back with another live stream. So it's Intelligent Cycle. So this time I'm gonna talk about Daredevil Born Again. This is the season 1 review, season finale as well. So I'm gonna talk about this a little bit while reading this article as well. But my thoughts about episode 9 was the season finale was absolutely incredible. We got the chance to see everything unfold and crack down as it may. So Mayor Fisk Mayor Fisk and Vanessa basically have their own plans and views. He's building try to build his whole entire like pipeline down around across New York, and he's basically trying to rid the city of all vigilantes. And while his task force is pretty much under task force, and the whole city's pretty much under martial law as we speak, and Matt Murdock, Daredevil, is coming back into tenfold, and he's looking to try to build an army. And we also saw him and Frank Castle, John Berthal, the Punisher back then. We saw the Punisher get into his reign of terror and action, basically trying to take down some of that task force, and hoping to take down Kingpin. And man, just overall, this whole season just felt like an absolute just back burner, absolute kept you glued and kept you to the edge. Then we also end up finding the truth about Bullseye, aka Poindexter, and why he ends up being assigned, actually on an assigned mission to take down Benjamin, and also to take down Foggy Nelson, and also take down Benjamin, his client, as well. So I really enjoyed this season finale, because we end up finding out more about the truth. We end up finding out more about where season 2 is gonna lie ahead of its time. A lot of people will complain about the season and say it has a lot of too much dialogue and too much talking, too much of this, too much of that, and less action. Where I disagree, because I feel like the balance of it in the show's aspect was just build trying to build on to something bigger, build into something more to come in the latter half, in the later future. Because you know we get everything, we get a lot of the questions answered. We get a lot of the character dissections. We also get a lot of like just answers and glued to what was going on. So here I'm gonna read a little bit more about why the MCU is an exciting part of the MCU for the next some odd years to come. So, Daredevil Born Again is every bit of success as its sold it was. In its first envisioned as a reboot, the series has gained life as a continuation of the Netflix series that fans love so much. But the season 1 finale, it becomes something even bigger and all its own. Episode 9 makes the TV arm for the Marvel Cinematic Universe more important than ever, and boldly declares the MCU is ready to bounce back from its missteps. In episode 8, Matt Murdock learned that Vanessa Fisk was the one who hired Bullseye to kill Foggy Nelson, but then took a bullet for her husband, Wilson Fisk, after Bullseye swore revenge. On top of that, Vanessa accepted her life as a criminal by murdering Adam, sparking Fisk's full return to manipulative Kingpin, as has always been deep down. Daredevil Born Again episode 9 is not just a season finale, it's the most explosive MCU finale in years. Daredevil Born Again finale reveals another massive threat. Vanessa Fisk is just as dangerous as her husband. Daredevil Born Again has been very much a story about Matt and Fisk tired to hide from their true selves, but to tell Fisk's side of the story properly, it's been equally important to explore who Vanessa Fisk really is. And actor Aled Zuhair expertly navigated this new chapter for her character, but in her internal struggles to find her after she went on an incredible journey between the events of Netflix Daredevil and then start of Born Again. In Daredevil Season 3, Vanessa tried her hand at working alongside Fisk in his criminal empire, but following his disappearance, she learned how to handle herself, becoming Kingpin in her own right, and as a result, she gained her own reputation as someone who shouldn't be messed with, and that the reputation grows in the Born Again finale. Though Vanessa has lapses in judgment, such as having an affair with Adam, Zuhair captures the spirit of the woman who has spent most of her time with Fisk, either forced to hide from the police or constantly waiting on her husband to tell her his next move. Daredevil Born Again establishes that Vanessa Fisk is a woman of action to an equally dangerous threat to Matt Murdock. Episode 9 includes an evolution of her character and in turn a new growth for Wilson Fisk, and there will be a treat for fans to watch in season 2 as this no longer just one person with an iron grasp of New York City who Matt Murdock will have to deal with. Episode 9 brings Punisher back with a vengeance. The finale delivers two bone-crushing action viewers crave. There's no secret that Daredevil Born Again has been light on the action over the course of its first season. But while Daredevil battles against Muse and Bullseye were fun and exciting, they had no holds barred battle featuring the hero seeing Matt take a bullet for Fist further complicated those prospects. Since it meant that he was not in his physical best. Despite that, episode 9 managed to give fans something special by delivering a fight with both Daredevil and the Punisher in the mix, more than making up to Frank Castle's all too brief appearance earlier in the season. And the battle between the AVTF and the two vigilantes is both incredibly violent and incredibly fitting. Daredevil doesn't miss a beat even with the wound, and showcase some impressive acrobatic and combat skills against armed officers. The anger Matt carried with him all season is on full display, living up to the brutality that viewers have come to expect from the Daredevil TV brand. But if that somehow isn't enough, the way the episode utilizes the Punisher brings things up another notch. Netflix Punisher series likewise learned and leaned heavily on the character's brutality, showing it how he handles situations by rushing in and taking the hits, and that made the character seem animalistic and something even a hero wouldn't be afraid of. Daredevil Born Again Episode 9 emphasizes this even more than to create the most violent episode of superhero television yet. Each hit and gunshot feels calculated to inflict maximum damage, and the entire sequence proves that Jon Bernthal is still the best Punisher in Marvel history. And while this team is up, and the highlight of the episode, Daredevil Born Again season finale, also has some other jaw-dropping moments, and embraces the TVMA rating without shame, and offers up some events that will make the season actions fans wince, and nothing is left beyond the finale when it comes to the action, which is such a huge part of the character's successful adaptation to television. Audiences will want to rewatch the action sequences in the episode multiple times. Season 1 finale is a call to action and a stage for a massive second season. Daredevil Born Again season finale brings everything together in a way that justifies certain elements that made no sense at first, while also reminding viewers of the importance of the series title. The season is about Daredevil becoming more than a vigilante. By episode 9, he's full-fledged hero going up against his equivalent of Thanos in a battle that will be incredibly difficult to fight, but all the pieces have fallen into place, making the battle worthwhile for both Matt Murdock and the audience. One of the things that seemed out of place initially was BB Urick's BB Report transition segments, even though they served to give the New York City populace a voice. The finale gives these pieces even more agency, which is refreshing for a Marvel series, and their use also goes in hand with the idea that Daredevil coming back to the spotlight will lead the charge, not unlike Captain America and save his city from oppression. But the idea of a rebellion is strong, and a piggyback on the title that proves that most beginnings and new beginnings are violent and difficult, no matter how simple it may seem. The finale viewers will sense that whatever comes next, Matt will be bombastic and climactic. And one of the things that got fans excited for Avengers Endgame is that what Thanos did was so evil, everyone wanted to see him get his comeuppance. Daredevil Born Again finale is exactly like Endgame in that sense. Wilson Fisk's actions have become so egregious and unforgivable as mayor that everyone wants to watch him fall. From character to action, episode 9 has everything that viewers could possibly ask for, and Disney has not just delivered a strong and fitting continuation of Daredevil's story. The audiences have just seen one of the greatest superhero TV seasons, period. Yeah, and that pretty much goes into my point also, because I like the fact of what they were saying as well. It also is it gives the viewers importance of the series title. Losing his best friend, losing his counterpartner lawyer, his best friend, guy he grew up with, and it also kind of changes him mentality wise. It changes him, and it also kind of just changes of the sheer fact that the people that you had that was close to your heart, that was close to you, that you grow up with, it kind of enables you to go further. It kind of makes you do more devious and complicated things that can not really that can alternate your own future, and alternate and hurt your own moral compass and moral self. That can also hurt and inflict upon the past. But at the same time, I guess I understand, and I kind of sort of understand the complaints before about the action, not enough action and not enough, fight sequences, that we saw enough battles between Bullseye or Muse or Fisk or Daredevil himself, Matt Murdock. But I feel like what he was saying, what the article was saying before, we got to live up, is living up to the title, and is living up to what we all know and love for all of them, for not just for Daredevil but also for Kingpin too. Got to also run Mayor, but the city of New York and Manhattan and New Jersey and all these different places, these people are not really, they're not ever going to come to the ever agreement or compliance of what Mayor Fisk wants. And keeping the city on lockdown and keeping it under martial law is not going to help things either. It's going to make things more worse. It's going to make things more complicated. Now, the curfew being at 8 p.m., come on now, that was just not, that's not the way things is supposed to be run in certain aspects. So you can just tell that the kingpin inside of Mayor Fisk wants to come out, as him and his wife Vanessa also taking down their moral enemies, sworn enemies from the past. It's gonna come back and rear its ugly head, is what I said before, previously in the previous episodes of the season. So I can just tell you that that's gonna come back, and it's gonna bite everybody up, and it's gonna bite them in the butt when the long term comes at tenfold. So yeah, this episode is absolutely phenomenal, and just as much as this season is phenomenal, because I can't wait to see what's gonna happen in the second season as we continued on. Um, so yeah, really, really good episode, and also combated on also what happened in episode 8, finding out the truth about what happened to his friend, what happened to his client, to his friend's client. Well, we went down in Hell's Kitchen. Like, we end up getting the truth and closure that I think Matt Murdock wanted, that truth and closure what we had saw. So shout out to both episodes being phenomenal and being on point, and I can't wait to see what goes on, what happens next. So that is my overall review of both episode 8 and 9 in the season finale. And I give season 1 overall, I give it a solid 8 out of 10. Um, there are things that I think that could have been better. I feel like we saw more of the courtroom drama, Hector Ayala, in episodes 4 and 5. And we also saw that the season kind of like took a little bit of a turn in those parts, but I felt like once we got to 7, 8, and 9, it kind of wrapped it up in a nice and a tight fitting bow. So yeah, that's my rating. That's my overall thoughts about the show and where we are at now. So now on to the next story I want to talk about is Nas's label Mass Appeal Records. So Mass Appeal confirms new albums from Nas, De La Soul, and Mobb Deep. So Ghostface Killer, Raekwon, and the late Big L will release projects in the Legend Has It series. 7 new albums from 7 iconic acts from Nas, DJ Premier, Mobb Deep, Ghostface, De La Soul, Big L, Raekwon, and the epic return of the Legend Has It. So Nas Mass Appeal Records continues to cater to traditionalists and old heads with the announcement of his Legend Has It series featuring 7 new albums from New York's hip hop pioneers, from his collab with DJ Premier, De La, and Mobb Deep, and Ghostface Killer's long rumored Supreme Clientele 2 and Wu-Tang Clan's cohort, Raekwon's The Chef Empire New Clothes, and a posthumous Big L project. And notably, it will be releasing the first album since the passing of Perspective, Troji, The Dove, and Prodigy. Many of these up-and-coming projects have been teased in some capacity. Nas DJ Premier has officially announced that their collaborative project is almost exactly 1 year ago, while De La Soul's Maceo told Kyle Meredith in 2023 that he and bandmate Pasta News were working on their highly anticipated album, AOI 3. And the February longtime Mobb Deep collaborator Alchemist broke the news that he was co-producing a new Mobb Deep album with Havoc and mentioned Nas would be involved. I'm not going to play the trailer. But yeah, my thoughts about this is I cannot wait for all of these new projects to come out from Nas and Mass Appeal. That's gonna be incredible. That's gonna be really really something special. To me, I feel like that this is a long time and this is long overdue, and this is long overdue for everybody to come out with their projects. But my favorite is out of the bunch is definitely the Ghostface Killer. It's gonna be the Ghostface Killer Supreme Clientele too. I've been waiting on that for shoot over two to 3 decades. I could not wait for that project to come out. De La Soul's record, that's unexpected. I wasn't expecting the new De La record, and definitely the Nas and Premier album. That's another project I've been waiting for like over 2 to 3 decades for. Cannot wait to see that come out. That's gonna be something special, man. And excuse me. That's gonna be something special, and that's gonna be something that's anticipated, man, because Nas with Hit Boy, with the King's Disease series, and of course the Magic series, and him being on such a high level, and then of course Ghostface Killer and his consistency is gonna be something special. But Mobb Deep's album, Alchemist and Havoc, and involvement from Nas is gonna be really something special. Well, I hope they do the vocals with Prodigy, or they had leftover songs with Prodigy, songs they already had made before he had passed, and I hope they actually mixed and mastered them and remastered them well, because a lot of times when you have posthumous records, with artists have passed, they don't really come out that good as DMX, as the last DMX album, and Big L. Although I was excited, and I am excited for the Big L project, uh, because the last project we saw, or we didn't necessarily see, but I didn't necessarily see, but in general, the bigger picture, even though that was more of like a compilation, like a greatest hits, it wasn't really like fully as a full fresh album. But it was the second album in his catalog, but it wasn't like a full project that really got promoted as much like it should, like, the lifestyles of poor and the dangerous. Raekwon, definitely cannot wait for Raekwon's album, because the last project I remember I heard from Raekwon was The Wild, I believe, and then of course Only Built for Cuban Links Part Two. So yeah, I cannot wait for Raekwon's project either. That's gonna be something crazy. So yeah, I cannot wait for all of these projects to do something, man. That's gonna be something special. So yeah, we just gonna have to wait and see what's gonna happen. But it seems like we're gonna get a lot of stuff, down the pipeline, and from Ghostface Killer's sake too, because I feel like the last couple of Ghostface Killer projects were cool, but it wasn't really something I was constantly going back to. But I feel like he's been really cooking to do something. He's been really cooking to push something out, man. And the 12 Reasons to Die series has been really nice. The Bad Bad Not Good record with him and them, that was a good record as well. Um, but Supreme Clientele is my favorite one out of his catalog. So, and of course, Nutmeg is one of my all-time favorite Ghostface Killer songs. So yeah, that's gonna be something crazy that I cannot wait to get my hands on, and watch, and probably do a review of all of these projects when they do come out. But yeah, it's gonna be something. It's gonna be something special, man. It's gonna be something big down the line, uh, as well. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing more album reviews for you guys as well. I cannot wait when these albums come out. So yeah, that's just my thoughts, and my overall, like, kind of like breakdown of all of these projects. So uh, I have seen the trailer for Legend Has It as well. So, and it was a really decent trailer. I like the way they kind of like put it on the back of the delivery truck, and kind of just had the whole title screen shot on it, and all of them come and one of them came out of the delivery truck, man, and was like, and they announced it. That was really cool, and I like the fact that it has on the basically on the back of the billboard like sign, and has it like in the NYC. That's really nice as well. So yeah, that's a really good trailer as well. So I cannot wait to see it. I cannot wait for it. Uh, so those are my overall thoughts about that. So the next story I'm going to talk about is, and the last story I'm going to talk about is this whole thing that I just read from Forbes. So it's going to be 21 job titles that will disappear by 2030. So close your eyes, pretend that nothing's going to change. By 2030, your workplace will be unrecognizable and you'll stay in the loop. Approximately 92 million jobs, representing around 8% of total employment, will completely be obsolete in 2030. The World Economic Forum projected in 2025 a future of jobs report. McKinsey's Global Institute thinks that it also paints a bleak picture of impact of AI and automation will take away jobs up to 12 million workers in the US and Europe within the next 5 years, prompting millions of professionals to shift career paths. And it can be scary to think about and how in just in 5 years so much can change. But on a broader side, these job losses are offset by the creation of new roles and job titles which we haven't even heard of yet. And the fact by 2030, the WEF predicts that there will be 170 million new jobs, which represents about 14% of today's employment. The growth of these new job titles is spurred on by changing economies, market shifts, and the focus on clean energy and AI and technological advancement, leading to demand for new skill sets and the creation of new opportunities will never dream would exist. After all, whoever thought the chief AI officer would be a thing? So, what primarily is concerns of to two core questions: what will jobs disappear or are currently being obsolete by 2030, and what can you do to ensure that you're prepared for the roles that will outlast the job market changes and be integral for the future of work? And 21 job titles will be obsolete by 2030. McKinsey study points out that the jobs will most susceptible to elimination over the next few years, that the ones will be fairly predictable and repetitive in their nature. Additionally, the connection and processing of data and two other categories of activities that increasingly can be done better and faster with machines, and this could displace large amounts of labor, for instance, in mortgage organization and paralegal work, accounting, and bank office transaction processing, the report states. And here are some roles that you can expect to disappear for the greater or less degree over the next 5 years, extracted from data pulled together from the World Economic Forum, LinkedIn, and sources from authorities in like the London Institute of Banking and Technology. Is postal service checks, bank tellers and retail clerks, data entry clerks, retail cashiers and ticket clerks, administrative assistants and executive secretary, printing and related trade workers, accounting, bookkeeping, and payroll clerks, material recording and stock keeping clerks, transportation attendants and conductors, door-to-door sale workers, news and street vendors and related workers, graphic designers, claim adjusters, examiners and investigators, legal officials, legal secretaries, telemarketers, basic IT support roles, assembly line workers, machine operators, picking and handling warehouse workers, insurance underwriters, travel agents, and how to future your career in 2025. This data leads to the next question. If you work in one of these fields, what can you do now to future proof your career so you are not left behind by 2030? Upskill where the demand is. Look at where the market is moving forward by analyzing job reports such as those posted under Coursera and the World Economic Forum. Ask yourself, what skills will I need to develop now to be prepared for in and demand jobs for the present and the future. Some of the skills at which have already been listed as high growth skills for 2025 include AI literacy, data analyst, talent, leadership, user experience, digital marketing, and critical thinking and problem solving. High transferable skill stacks. Frame your career identity around your transferable skills and experiences which are shared across multiple roles, especially if your previous job title is irrelevant. Reframe your experiences and outcomes that were needed in much roles such as a process environment, digital management, cross-functional collaboration, and workflow optimization. Highlight results and metrics. These will be needed by hiring managers and even by clients if you're looking for freelance and contact roles. Build optionality. You never want to be in a position where your job is your role, your only lifetime of financial support and career progression. You'll need to have several options. The lessen risk and builds career resilience, future proofing, and you against uncertain economic times and industry changes, as well as mounting pressure on employers, which ultimately lead to layoffs. It has several options that you can fall back on. It doesn't necessarily mean that you need to work multiple jobs, but what it does mean is you should have multiple streams of income, such as passive income streams, side hustles, freelance services, and even starting a small family-run brick-and-mortar businesses. And these 21 job titles might be obsolete, but that doesn't mean you need to be. What are you going to do today to remain relevant? All right, so that is pretty much what I read from this article. And yeah, most of these 21 jobs that they listed are probably going to be obsolete by this time. I mean, you guys have just got to find, and I will always say and promote this whole and push and promote this pretty much this perspective, this idea, this whole format is own your own content, own your own platform, your own businesses, do entrepreneurship. Don't rely on these particular job oppositions because they're not permanent. They're not going to continue to remain and stay permanent because the way that the economy is listed and the way the whole economic form, World Economic Forum, and the way things are changed by AI and generated machines, it's just a problematic situation that goes within the thing. And from I like the fact that the McKinsey study points really pointed out this whole thing and increasingly activities that said that work can be done faster with machines. Yeah, machines is pretty much from AI generated stuff, artificial intelligence, like the way things is going beyond the payroll. It can be a thing where you pretty much will never know what can be what your job title is going to be lasted for that same time. So I say own your own masters, own your own businesses, own your own field, and learn how to really financially manage your own books, doing your checks and balances, write your own checks, owning your own cars. Try to find a way to do primarily ownership and don't rely on these fields. And go into your job market and go into your job accounts. And if you're over the age 55 and over, if you're over the age where you can settle your way of retirement, go in, get your pension and file your 401k and put it into it and take it on out. Take the money out before the job end up deciding to let you go and locks it, and you ain't gonna be able to get in and be able to access it. So I advise you to own your own stuff and remember to go take that stuff out in order for you to do it because you might not be able to get the chance to see it. So I will say just do that and continue to pursue the dreams and happiness. Don't ever so rely on anybody to do these things for you because like I said, these jobs and these occupation fields are not always permanent and they're not always going to be your best benefits. So yeah, that's all I got to say. Shout out to this to Rachel Wells who did this article because this is very important. And I gotta get on out of here, guys. So thank you all for watching. Like, share, and most of all, subscribe to the page because I got more stuff coming for you later on today. Thank you all for watching, and I'm gonna be out of here. I may have one more stream to do afterwards, and then I'm gonna probably do an out of theater reaction. So yeah, thank you all for watching because I'm out. Peace.